So you say you want that house. You want it as bad as you want to breathe air. However, there are 5 other offers. Well, stay tuned and we're going to discuss some things that you can do with your offer to make you more successful in winning that bid. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Addie P's Real Estate Tea, where today we're going to discuss a couple of tips in regard to putting in an offer and being successful with putting in that offer, especially in this market where we are faced with, once again, a seller's market with multiple bids. Now, before we get into that video, help your girl out here, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also hit the bell notification to be notified of future videos on this channel. And you already know, if you're watching from Instagram, show your girl some love. All right. Now, just wanted to get into a couple of things that you all can do as buyers out there, getting ready to submit offers and so forth. As I mentioned in quite a few of my videos, inventory is low. It is a seller's market. Spring has definitely sprung and it ain't even officially here yet, but people are out shopping. I'm sure you've seen that as buyers if you've been out in the market, house hunting, going to open houses and so forth. And usually low inventory equates to possible multiple offers, thus we get bidding wars. So we want to be successful in that, and we want our offer to stand out. And there are a couple things, like I said, that we'll go over that you can maybe do to help get that process going a little bit better for you, and subsequently win that bid and get that home that you want so bad, like you want to breathe some air. All right. So basically the first one is your loan or mortgage that you get. You definitely want to speak with your agent and see who the best lender is to go with. Of course, you want to check things out as far as interest rates and so forth, which interest rates are again at an all-time low. So in that retrospect, most lenders should be able to get you a pretty decent rate depending on your credit and where you're at debt to income ratio wise. However, on the other flip side of that coin, you want to make sure that you're dealing with a lender that that has the reputation of providing good, sound, quality pre-approvals, that they even go a step further. Like I know some lenders, they actually will give you basically like a look over from the underwriter. They'll look over your file and anything that may arise and so forth. You kind of already know that before getting your offer submitted and so forth. So that way, once you know you're out there, your offer is out there, it's solid. Case in point, I know there was a transaction that I had with a lender some months ago, and basically they had kind of like an underwriting process prior to even issuing the pre-approval, which was awesome because my client was able to have her information ran through and so forth. The underwriter said it's fine, and basically her pre-approval was as good as cash. So you want to make sure that when you're hunting for a lender, even before you go out looking, because that should be your first step, is to try to secure some financing. All right. And most agents usually ask you, that's usually the first question. So you want to ask if they have that process available. If they do, indeed, I think it's good, it's sound, and like I said, it really held a lot of weight. Now, the next thing that I wanted to discuss was contingencies. Now, I know some people, they feel comfortable with waiving inspections and so forth. I personally do not recommend that, especially with clients that I deal with. I tell my clients straight up, look, I will never tell you to waive any inspections. That is your choice. If you feel comfortable with that, that's your prerogative. But again, I always recommend for my clients to have their inspections. Sometimes that does get to be competitive because, as I stated, some people will actually waive all their inspections to entice the seller to make it a more appealing offer. What I do suggest is that if you do want your inspection still done, to lessen that contingency period. So say in a buyer's market, you might do 18 days for an inspection. You might want to cut that down to maybe 15 or 10 days. So that way you're showing the seller that, look, I'm serious. I'm going to get right on calling an inspector, a home inspector, to come in, do the home inspection. We're going to get the appraisal ordered as soon as possible. So that way, if there's anything that comes up on an appraisal, all of those issues can be taken care of. All right. The next thing is offer price. Now, I know your girl knows we all love a good bargain, okay? We always want to strive to get the best pricing possible for the things that we purchase, including a home. I will tell you, with this being a seller's market again, and if you're up against, you might be up against 4 or 5, upwards of 5 offers. You know, that chance of you bargaining and kind of going low, high, you know, and raising your offer, you may not have that chance, is what I'm saying to you. So if this is really a house that you want, it's priced accordingly, and your agent has advised you as such, and it's not overpriced and so forth, don't mess around. Definitely put your best foot forth. Put in the offer price that is necessary, and do not, like, you know, try to haggle and go like super low, because that's insulting in most cases to the seller, and the seller's just going to look at that and be like, next. I got 4 or 5 others that are serious here offering me the moon and the stars, and you're here trying to bargain ship here. I don't want to play that. So definitely be conscious of that when you're going into that. Also, in regard to pricing, you may want to discuss with your agent. I know here in PA, I don't know about other areas, so forgive me. Excuse me, if you're a viewer watching from another state and so forth. But here in PA, we do have an addendum called an escalation clause that you can add to the offer. And basically with that escalation clause, it's saying that you can, you know, that you're giving permission to have your offer raised, you know, in a highest and best situation, opposed to, you know, and above the highest offer. There's some other verbiage and so forth in there. And like I said, speak with your agent about it, especially if you're buying here in PA, but that may be something to add into your offer, that escalation clause. Lastly here, you want to make it personal. Not every seller is just, you know, honed in on pricing. Most, of course, you're selling your home, you want to get the most out of it, but you want to make it personal as the buyer. Not that you're just storming in here wanting the best deal and to steal a property from someone. You know, you may want to write a personal note or a personal letter to accompany your offer, explaining to the seller why you want the home, especially in cases where the seller has occupied that property for a long time. Maybe that seller has raised their family there. So it becomes much more personal for that seller. And if you're walking through the showings and you see the little marks on the wall where the kids have, you know, they've been tracking the kids' growth over the years, then it's going to be really personal for the seller. So you want to make yourself relatable in that sense and say, hey, I'm going to be making little marks too on the wall. So you may want to, you know, share your experience and your like and want and your connection with that home. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes a personal note or letter goes a long way with your offer. So those are the few tips that I did want to share with you all. There's definitely more that can be incorporated into that, but always keep those things in mind going forth, especially in this market with house hunting and it being a seller's market. All right, well, we are all out of time. If you want to, please feel free to comment. I am interested in hearing from you all. Otherwise, please stay tuned for the next video. Until then, have a blessed day, guys.